Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we're checking out the new Tier 8 premium battleship, the new campaign reward ship, Japanese battleship Musashi, sister ship to the Yamato, legendary tier Yamato. Here's the ship build. We got AA in slot 4. Check out the armor comparison here. Going into checking out the ship, I assumed this would have a lower armor rating than the sister ship, but looking at these two charts here, I'm not seeing a lot of substantive difference. Maybe a little tweak here and there. But overall, looks pretty similar. You can see more secondaries on this, which when we're comparing the stats of the ship, I won't mention secondaries because I don't track that on my sheet, but presumably quite a bit better in terms of secondary performance. This is the first game I played of the ship. Probably played about 7 or 8 games tonight. Maniac Monday. We've seen it all. This one takes the cake. This one is some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen in my roughly 15,000 games. Strap yourselves in. You're going to want to check this one out. But we've seen a draw that shouldn't have been a draw. We saw a destroyer. Literally a third of his ship was in the cap for about 2 minutes with no challenge to him whatsoever. And then he got bored. He found a Baltimore, rushed him, trying to suicide struck him, and the results were predictable. So Maniac Monday, living up to his name. The first day that the update drops, the loony bins across the world empty, and everyone of the occupants goes directly home and plays this game. So very challenging environment. We're going to see the frustration build on this destroyer. Now the deployments of this game is horrible on blue. Everyone's moving horizontally. If you spawn on C, you play C. If you spawn on A, you play A. The destroyer you spawn on B, you didn't want to go for the B cap. I get it. It's a tough environment for a lightly armored and armed Shimakaze, but, you know, he was closer to A. If he wants to come over here, though, fine. I don't have a major problem with that, but we will see the frustration mount, and there's our traditional first shot of the ship, loaded with HE, and the traditional first incoming shot, half the damage gone. So, usually when I get a premium ship, that's how it goes. I forget to load the correct shells into the barrels, and then I get smoked as I'm staring off into the distance, watching those orange trailers in disbelief at my own incompetence. So anyway, not a great start to Maniac Monday, but we're moving forward here. Character redemption arc. What is going to happen? This destroyer. Usually when we're kind of making fun of bad players, it's in jest. Obviously not everyone plays the game that much. If you're not that good, it could be frustrating to be on your team from time to time, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. All right, players with different skill level playing the same game, all's fair. But this guy, he is going to go into C, he's going to get frustrated, and he is going to turn into the biggest villain I've ever seen. And frankly, I'm not an advocate of actually banning players, but if I ever saw a game that warranted a week-long ban, this destroyer game would definitely be it. So he's going to start off as the villain. By the end of the game, complete character redemption. So stay tuned for that. Let's compare the ships as we're moving into this cap here, though. Musashi versus Yamato. Yamato 5,000 more HP, so a little bit sturdier. Guns on paper look roughly the same except for range. Okay, same commander builds and everything. The Yamato 1.2 kilometers more. Other than that, reload, traverse, damage, fire, start, and chance, all the same on the paper, okay? So, offensively, quite dangerous. Accuracy, dispersion, grouping, not listed in the game. I believe the Yamato is probably a little bit more accurate. Neither of them are super accurate battleships by any means, but nevertheless, offensively, they feel roughly the same. All right, so our destroyer now has crossed the equator. He's got the enemy Shima, who presumably cap B. Point blank range. They can fight each other. They're going to, of course, both try to torp each other. The difference is blue has no guys that can shoot red Shima. Red has 3 guys plus the destroyer that can shoot blue Shima. Okay, so I'm not going to say it's a mistake I've never made either. But if you get caught in these situations, the game is designed for you to lose it, right? But he does a pretty good job here. He gets the smoke down, drops spot, backs up. He actually dodges all these torps. So this little sequence here, I'm like, okay, this guy doesn't seem that bad, but he's going to get eminently frustrated, and frankly, I get it. Okay, Maniac Monday, it's bad enough, but then As a destroyer, when you're sitting there like trying to capture the base and you're not getting support, it's very frustrating. But he's going to pick up the ball and then head to the southeast corner. So keep an eye on him. We'll check in with him later. Other ship stat differences. The main one, AA. All right, and I got the AA slot on slot 4 on both of them. 92 on Yamato, 63 on Musashi. So about 50% more AA defense, which is significant. Speed, slightly different. Yamato 0.7 faster. Rudder shift, quite a bit better, 15.9 compared to 21.1 in favor of Musashi. So it actually feels a little bit more nimble. Concealment-wise, identical stats. Okay, so we're not getting a lot of statistical differences between the two. Again, there's probably a little bit of a difference in the accuracy, but neither of them are Warspite or similar battleships in terms of accuracy. They're still pretty inaccurate. At this point, the destroyer is going to leave. He's going to spam no, no, no on the comms for the remainder of the match. And he's kind of picking up his ball going home. Now, what's the reasonable play? It's the play I think the Minotaur is trying to make right now as I'm watching him. What he needs to do is sail just to the edge of this island, the peninsula, the rightmost abutment. You know, slam on the brakes as you're crossing that plane. Hit the smoke as you're doing it. Hopefully he's got smoke. Maybe he's got a radar. And then hit the sonar. Get all these consumables going. Hit your trigger 2-3 times. Blow up the destroyer very rapidly. The Minotaur is probably the most... It's definitely one of the most dangerous ships to a close-range destroyer in the game. And that's a play to make. Why would he not want to make that play? Well, because he's going to get blown up likely doing that. K7 Fluid, thanks for subbing there. But look at this. We hit him really hard there, and then one more shot from Minotaur takes him down. So, unfortunately, his reticence to make the aggressive play basically caused our destroyer to get so frustrated that he's going to refuse to play for the majority of the game. And we're actually going to take about a 20k torp strike. So I'm actually a little bit ticked at this guy at this point in time as well. But I get from his point of view, he's in a ship that can easily do 150, 200,000 damage if it's alive and in position the whole game. But a reasonable play to make is trading a cruiser for the lone enemy destroyer. All right, especially early in the game, assuming our destroyer is actually trying to capture the bases. He goes from cap to cap to cap. We just guard those caps for the destroyer. He wins the game. That's how it's designed to be played. Now, if you're the Minotaur, you might be saying to yourself, I'm a good player. If I kill myself making that play, my value to the team lies in being alive for the whole match and maybe making a scoring play later or something like that. And I get that thinking too. It's always frustrating, especially playing in randoms, trying to make trades like that because you're with unknown quantities on your team, but you probably strongly suspect that they may or may not be in a good position to win the game once you're gone. I understand that thinking as well, but let's just say everybody on this team was the same exact skill level. Trading that Minotaur for that Shima would be an outstanding play almost every time in that situation. So anyway, they got A, they got B, they got a winning formation. You can see they have about 140 point lead. We're desperately trying to get C. That's the first step. We need to stop the bleeding a little bit. The destroyer actually is playing. You can see him hitting the comms there a moment ago. I saw him a moment ago when I was playing this. I was like, okay, maybe he's on the phone or TikTok or whatever. Hopefully he'll come back and join the brain or the living as opposed to the brain dead. But no, he's actually playing. He's just playing with a little bit of a tantrum. So that's unfortunate. But we're doing what we can do here. The Grover's trying to get C. We're trying to get C. And then we're going to make a very high-risk play. We're going to make a few high-risk plays. These are going to be plays, and there's more evidence that he's actually playing. He deployed smoke. He's launching torps against clearly nothing. So he's just throwing a tantrum. We're going to make some high-risk plays. In these situations where we've dug the hole, the score is out of control, we can't win on score, we have to take risks, okay? And a risk for me is going horizontally from C to B, and this is why that Yamato is in a good position. And I think it's actually two Yamatos there. They're kind of, one's directly north of me, one's slightly to the west of him. But if they can cover the gaps between C and B here, hit me in the sides, I'd probably die if they target me here. Going into this play, I know that. I got to get over to B. We cannot sit here in a black hole formation watching them score 2-1 for the remainder of the match because the match won't last that much longer. Doesn't matter for evenly trading, doesn't even matter for kind of winning the trades as we are here. It's still a losing formula. So we got away with the play there. Again, if we're in the lead, I don't want to make that move, okay? If we're covering caps and I'm not going to risk the ship just to get over here, but this is desperate times, desperate measures. All right, so the destroyer's now hit the corner and he's gone from north-south to, he's heading west now, east to west on the bottom line. He's a backline Betty, but he's on the enemy's backline. Incredible. So we're not counting on his contributions anytime soon. There's a Woosta. Love to shoot him, but we can't do that. We need to get into B as quickly as possible, and then we need to attack this formation who is on the map. If we move a little bit to the north here, we'll be getting some broadside shots because we're down, holy God, how many points we're down? About 400 points now. There's a lot of points on those battleships. There's a 100-point swing every time you sink one of those, like we did just there. You can see the score even up by 100 points, and that's what we need to do. Because now that we got this lead in the background, at least in terms of generation, now if we need to start sinking these ships, then we'll have secured our lead, right? We've secured our win condition at that point in time. But just sitting here saying, okay, we got the 2 caps, that's not going to do it. We're still going to lose on score, so we still need to continue to take some risks here. And that means aggressively playing against Yamato, who's got 10, 20,000 more health than us. More dangerous, roughly, we're both kind of dangerous to each other, but I'm more scared of him than he is of me for sure. But if I can get him in that little cheek, and both of these ships have that kind of 3-sided cone on the citadel on each of them. So if you hit them in just the right spot, we can actually get a wicked citadel shot on them here. We're missing, unfortunately, but we are getting a little bit of damage. And I also want to get in position on the Grover. We do check, is his guns over here? No. As if they are, if he's waiting for us, we can't really push in. I want to push into him and the Yamato, get access to those sides. And these are the risks we're taking, but if his guns are over here, then we will not survive that once again. So again, we're kind of forced to take plays that we won't necessarily always want to be taking. Now you can see our team desperate on the radar or on the comms. Help, help, father, help! We're getting zapped to the death by the Emperor riding on the ground. Watching a game that we are up in ships, but we're almost certainly doomed to lose. At this point in time, he's considering his options, all right? He's Darth Vader. He's watching us. He hasn't certainly decided to help. In fact, he'll keep saying no help. But he is turning a little bit northward, getting curious about the situation. Great job by the team to take out both of those battleships, the Yamato that I was facing off against and the Grover. And now we're actually in a position where we're only down about 50 points. And if the situation freezes here, no ships are sunk, we will win because we got enough time on the score to actually accumulate enough points to gain the lead again. We're getting about 36 points per minute by having the advantage, and Des Moines taking some wicked shots there. But here is where the Shima, even though he says no there, curiously enough, here's where his character arc of redemption begins in earnest, okay? Because at this point in time, we're still taking some heavy fire from these red ships. And again, if they sink a couple of us here, we're going to be locked out of score. Even maybe one battleship might be enough. But and there he does take the Yamato down. So again, we're down 120. That is a losing score here. But the Shima, we get the boost, our wicked shot. But check this out here. The Des Moines on the ropes. And the Shima coming back. And he will reconsider his humanity. And he joins the battle once again. And this is the turning point. Because at this point in time, we're kind of hosed, right? We got to sink these cruisers. They're going to be, the Des Moines there. All right, he got him. The Shima got him. Maybe another ship would have got him, maybe not. But the Shima is back in the fight. And now we will once again regain the lead. We're down. All right, but we will regain the lead. Again, assuming no more losses. Which again is not a reliable assumption. Because we got a lot of low health ships. And at this point in time, I'm thinking this Shima on our team, based on what I've seen, he's probably going to try and gun this Wooster down and get shot, throw the game, or do something crazy. Just based on his poor attitude the entire game. And he is rushing Wooster, who does have a radar. Does he still have a radar? Nobody knows, but I certainly wouldn't want to get that close to him. But he will, he is trying to counter him. He's actually trying to win the game again. Maybe he's not doing exactly how I would, but he does turn his life around. He is a reformed individual, and he'll get the torps off and get the booster. So I thought that was about as close of an analogy to Darth Vader as you can really find in World of Warships. Starts off with a lot of promise, doing the right thing, going for the caps, turns to the dark side, tries to impose his bad attitude on the rest of us and ruin a good time. And then at the end, find his humanity, redeem himself, and help the blue team prevail. So, not how I would have gone about doing it, but we'll give him props. He was instrumental in the win there in the end. And so be it. So, anyway, kind of a frustrating game, but emblematic of Maniac Monday. We'll try and get one more shot on the Des Moines here, but as long as nobody dies, we should be all right. In fact, even if Battleship died at this point in time, we do have the score to win this game. So that's a look at the Musashi, guys. Let me know what you think about that ship in this game in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you did like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That does help the video with the algorithm. And we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.